What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Collectors Mingle every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we have an amazing, awesome, beautiful, very talented, epic Avengers level panel that we're going to discuss some fun stuff with tonight. First of all, Armorized Hot Toys Deadpool. That's going to be fun. We got to talk about the Prime 1 showcase just in moderation. No more Last of Us 2. I don't need to put myself through that misery. But the Prime 1 1989 Batman and Bruce Wayne. We do need to talk about that. Talk about Black Friday prices. Would we buy certain figures if the price is right? I think that's always an interesting discussion, considering Black Friday is right around the corner. Thanksgiving. What are we thankful for in collecting in 2022? Going to be fun. Some forgotten figures, some other topics. Guys, if we have time, we're going to get through a lot of stuff. So stay tuned. A lot of good stuff coming right at you. Here you go. Yo, what is up, guys?
Hey.
What is up?
Hey,
We are here for a Sunday fun Collectors Mingle at 8 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. Guys, look at this Avengers level panel that I've somehow managed to assemble. They have graced me with their amazing presence, and it's going to be a blast. And before we address the chat, we have to address the newcomer, Mr. Mom Collectibles, Mr. Ryan. Bro, how are you doing this evening, bro? Yeah,
Let me give Ryan
the applause. Let me give Ryan the applause.
I appreciate it.
This
is,
Layout and
I'm not
Aries
worthy
don't
to be
applause.
surrounded
Okay,
by
there you
this Hall of Fame panel, so I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and offer my opinions, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a blast. Well, it's epic, to have you here. Like I said, first time on the show. It's going to be fun, man. So really excited. Looking forward to it. Not as much looking forward to Carlos, but Carlos is here. So, Carlos, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better. My voice, as you can tell, is basically almost back for the most part. So it's pretty good. Yeah, man, thank you for having me. Can't wait to, get into it with everyone, especially Ryan here, the new guy. As long as you agree with me, Ryan, we're not going to have any problems. We're going to be all good.
I'm not going to make any promises.
And then, and then yeah, man, thank you again. Excited to be here.
Yeah, well, happy to have you here, man. In all seriousness, it's going to be a fun one. Mr. Layout, 1/6 scale man, quarter scale man, as you were formerly known. How you doing this evening, bro?
Pretty good, man. I'm just had some soup. I'm trying to kick this small bit of a cold.
You got one too?
Kind of settles in. Yeah, it's not really bad. I mean, it's because I've been running around pretty much all weekend. We've been getting stuff ready for Christmas decorations and stuff like that. So we've been putting stuff up. So it's extremely cold here right now. So yeah, I just had like some soup. I got some soup from Panera, like really good vegetable soup.
Nice.
From them. So that I put some turmeric in there a little bit just to kind of, give it that, whatever was needed. Yeah, turmeric actually works on everything. That chia seeds, you put stuff in there, it kind of helps. And then also it's just
takes the swelling down.
Yeah, definitely.
What is that, Leia? What is turmeric? I haven't heard of that before.
Turmeric is like
you
a
haven't
root,
heard
bro.
No.
Yeah, it's like a root. You basically put it in, and it kind of helps.
Leo, you have to remember he's white. He doesn't know flavor, so
He's not what it is, Carlos.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course,
it's like a regular root. You just put it in. You want to eat it with like your soups. Sometimes you can even put turmeric in tea, and it kind of helps. You know what I mean? So
it helps with inflammation. Yeah,
definitely helps with inflammation. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel better, man. And I think it's going to be a fun show for you, nonetheless, for all of us. And Mr. Aries, 6 Scale Cantina, good to have you back, bro. How you doing, man?
I am wonderful. Great to be here. The Collectors Mingle back on the show. I've got the wizard juice handy. I think I may have some turmeric in here. Let's go, baby.
I hope so. I hope so, Aries. Well, good to have you back, man. Like I said, always appreciate your insights on Star Wars and, of course, all other things collecting. So it's going to be a fun one, man.
Absolutely.
Guys, let's address the chat before we get into our topics. We got a new channel member. Thanks so much. Fat Batman's Collecting Nightmare. Thanks so much, bro. Love that avatar. Thank you for joining the channel membership. That's really appreciated. Guys, let's address the rest of the chat. Renz Talentino, the artist himself, who just dropped a new print of Balder, which I love. I think it's fantastic. So happy for you, Renz, and for everyone who picked that up. Got my guy, Mr. Mom, on. Nice, absolutely. Ryan is repping here, bro. Absolutely. Ash Chase, the man himself. What's up, Ash? How you doing, bro? Lane Kramer, the ladies' man. Evening to everyone. How you doing, Lane? Good to have you here, bro. Bruce Leon, okay, this is going to be a fun one. Time for the friendly neighborhood Foxman to swing his blades of chaos through the streets of Gotham, painting the city red protecting Michael Keaton from Scorpion's desire to tempt his morality. Bruce always comes with the poetic comments, bro. Like, just showing us all up, bro.
Nice.
Always.
Nice.
Dockinator. I hope all my fellow Minglers are doing well. Rest in peace, JDF. Yeah, man. I know.
Yeah,
some
that
sad
sucks,
news.
man.
That's all.
I know. Charlie the Unicorn. Poor Will, the Prime 1 showcase was a real... Yeah. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that anymore. I did put a video out for people who want to enjoy my misery, though. Charlie the Unicorn will class up the stream, however. Thanks so much, bro. I tried. Superior Displays. What's up, bro? What's up? Thanks so much. Lewis the Bits. Nick's, here it is. I heard Will thought the Abby statue was a dope post. See, dude, I'm never going to get over that one. I'm never going to get past it. Hey, everyone. I'm ready to mingle. Where's the bar? Hey, you're at it. You're at it, Mike. You're at it. Dinesh, the Garage channel member. Thanks so much, bro. The Collector #1. What's up? Hope everyone's doing great. Peyton 23. The best show on Sunday night. Thanks, bro. Even better than Sunday Night Football. I guess that's what you're saying. So
He clearly doesn't watch football.
yeah, and the Chiefs are playing tonight, actually. So come on, Patrick Mahomes. I need you. Okay, Blackbird Tech. Hey, everyone. Linda, the president of the Pennywise fan club. Hello, Linda. Dinesh look like they're sending out second batch of Present Toys Indiana Jones. That's pretty cool. People were pretty excited about that one. AJ, greetings, friends. Hope all is well. Thule, let's see here. Who else is here? Bruce Leon was here. Primetime Reviews, Bannekin, Comics, Pure Stewage. Will's running on Wizard Time. Pretty much, bro. Pretty much. Let's see here. Fallen Jedi, good weekend. Double live streams for Will. I'm to be tempted on that Scorpion. Yeah, bro. Absolutely, bro. Maybe we'll get to talk about it. Let's see. Safeful in the house. Philip the Fool, Collectibles chats. Let's see here. Will is totally locked in on that Abby statue. Pretty much, bro. Pretty much. Austin Nicholas. What's up, Austin? With the amazing Instagram photos that Austin posts. Check him out for sure because he's got some good stuff out there. Patton said, lucky Will didn't destroy anything after seeing that Abby statue. Yeah, I know. I probably should have. All right, guys. Let's waste no time. Let's jump into our first topic. We got to talk about something I think that didn't really get talked about too much. It kind of slid under everyone's radar. This is the Hot Toys Armorized Deadpool. And maybe there's a reason this slid under everyone's radar because no one's really seemed to care that much. But maybe it's one of those things that it's like, okay, this is more popular in Asia. It's not as much of a US thing. Maybe that's why they made it. But Ryan, I want to start with you on this one. With this Armorized Deadpool, what do you think about it overall? And, is this something you would consider adding to your collection?
Well, no, won't be adding to my collection at all. Just because it's a cool piece. I mean, when it came out, same thing. It kind of fell under the radar. It's weird because it's almost like it reminds me that they're trying to kind of milk the whole Armorized Iron Man, thing because we have the Punisher and we also, the Doctor Strange is going to be still that's on order still. That's supposed to be coming out that what was it from Infinity War?
Oh yeah, the
concept
Iron
armor.
Strange.
So that's like another armorized version, if you want to call it that. So I mean, it's cool if you're a Deadpool. I have a couple of buddies who got it who are really looking forward to it, to kind of putting it together with their Deadpool, like their zombie Deadpool and the regular Deadpool, to kind of make a little like a little setup with it. But I mean, it's not for me. It doesn't really fit in the collection. I mean, I'm not really a whole fan. The only one that intrigued me was the Punisher one, but not enough to buy it. But I mean, it's a cool piece, but I don't really see it, blowing the doors off anywhere personally. But I mean, it's cool, but that's pretty much it.
I think Ryan, that's going to be the common sentiment. I think a lot of people. I do see Loco Lou in the chat, by the way, saying this is a must-have for him. I should know. This is right up Loco Lou's alley. But I think Ryan, your sentiment is going to be pretty common. I think among this panel and probably in just the community. Like it's a one where it's like it looks cool, but it's not for me. I think that's going to be what happens. But Carlos, are you going to continue this line, bro? Are you going to continue the line of it's cool but not for me? What are your thoughts?
No, I think if you're a pretty cool collector, you're gonna have this. Clearly, Ryan doesn't belong in that group.
Exactly. Already disagreed on the first topic.
Carlos doesn't want this. Don't let him lie to you. Bro.
No. I think this is really cool, man. It's like the Punisher War Machine. It's a cool piece. It's unique. It looks awesome. It's gonna look great on someone's collection. I may eventually buy it way down the line because it is probably during those times where everybody was collecting pre-orders, everybody was just being mass produced, and that's what this is going to be. Whatever War Machine Punisher is going for, this is probably going to go for that or even lower. So I had a War Machine Punisher. It looked really cool, and after a week, I was like, all right, let's sell this fucker. This is going to be the same thing here. I'm going to have him. He's going to
claim it on your taxes.
Claim it on my taxes. Let's sell this guy. But I will eventually own him just to look at it and have it. But it won't be something that stays with me long term. Not at all. like everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone in this panel, it's cool. It looks great. It's gonna look great for like Local Lou and others like him, but not for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. But it does have a cool color scheme, Carlos. I do kind of like it. Like it is unique, and I
looks
could see
dope.
this being real popular in Asia.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's very what's the word you like to toyetic? Is that what it is?
Toyetic, yeah. I always forget that word, but yes. But because Carlos, I talked to Brian Wong from Magic Case today, and he was telling me, which we kind of already knew, like in Asia, everything that's sort of mech, like robotics, sells really well. So like Transformers, Iron Man, like he even has a bunch of Iron Man and like this type of stuff. So I think this is not clearly for us. This is for another market.
I mean, I think it looks really cool though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it's
right. It does.
It's exactly the, like, you know, Hot Toys being creative and bringing us something that deals with Iron Man and introducing Deadpool. So like I said, it's cool. It's just maybe the wrong demographic, like you mentioned.
Right. Yeah. So Aries, I know you don't venture outside of Star Wars too often, but what are your general thoughts about this, man?
I really like this thing, to be completely honest with you. Like, you know, this is very toyetic, as you put it. And, you know, as a kid, I would absolutely freaking lose my mind over this. I mean, it is freaking sleek. It's cool. It's like having that hot car. You know, it's got the die cast things going on. You know, I was checking out all the pictures this week and even before the show on this, and I'll tell you, you know, if I got, like, if I just stumbled across this or it was given to me for free or something, you would think, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just sell it. I don't know. I probably would keep it and probably start getting into some of the other mech figures, maybe the Iron Man figures. I mean, it's really cool. It doesn't have a head sculpt. It's toyetic. It has that whole mech kind of vibe like you're talking about there. But it's pretty sleek and badass, Will, just being honest. I kind of like it. Yeah. I would kind of like just, you know, hold it in my hands and start posing it and start playing with it and whatnot. I think it's a pretty cool piece. So yes, I'm not going to go run out and buy it, but it catches my eye, and I think it's a really good release for sure. So I don't know. Nice job by them. And what is it, $400?
Yeah, about $405. Yeah,
about $405. I'm sure it's pretty heavy in hand. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it is too, Aries. And I think that, like I said, that's going to be the common sentiment. I'm just noticing now too, the exclusive one on Sideshow is already waitlisted. You can only get the collector's edition one, so that's pretty interesting. So, but I think
that was
Was it a time?
That was because it was a time thing. Yeah, you're just not that well informed as a collector. But yeah, it was just a time.
Was it really timed? I always forget about those because they seem to like do those and they stopped doing them. They did them for like
it was timed. It was because this was an exclusive during it was during the summer exclusive. So
gotcha. Okay, that's why they did it. Yeah. Okay, but I'm with you guys. I think this looks pretty cool, and I'm interested to hear Lael's thoughts because this is actually labeled as a comics masterpiece. So I don't know if Lael's going to go for this because it's comic related. Lael, what do you think?
I say yes.
Not at all.
Oh, damn, you were wrong, Carlos.
Damn.
Not at all. I'm definitely not going for it. I mean, it's here's the thing. It's always something for everybody, and this is something for everybody. Like people like Lou, who has a shrine dedicated to their Deadpool. This is going to work for, even though it is based off of not only just a comic book but also the game as well. Yeah, it's not something I'm actually going to get because aesthetically it doesn't fit what I'm going for. I'm looking for a bit more realism in my collection. What I mean by that is just something that just kind of fits the scheme of what I'm going for when it comes to the narrative. This is just completely out of the box. We already know Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, but breaking the fourth wall, my collection is not going to make sense. So I'm definitely not going to get it, but it's just not to take away from the simple fact that it looks good. It looks good. It looks like a decent piece. The only thing about this is the eyes. Unless you have that lit all the time, it's not going to look that great. If you have a secondary head sculpt, if you have Deadpool, if you have a Deadpool that's laying around that you don't use, you can always pop off the head from that particular version, pop it on here. To have a unhelmeted version of the armor, unhelmeted armor version, put it that way. All the accessories that come with it's pretty good. It does look great, but for me, Yeah, it's just not going to work. You know,
Yeah.
I looked at it just after looking at everything. You know, it's even if it goes on sale, I got. But here's the thing: is because there's far too much out there right now that takes up precedence. It's priority over this. You know what I mean? That I'm looking at and that I want, and especially with the holiday season right now, with everything that's going on, is just like, you know, you have to prioritize, and this is definitely not a priority for me, but I know it's going to be a priority for a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I think
know,
it'll be
if
pretty
it
cool.
was I was gonna say, if this was an
ahead.
Armorized Gen Urso layout, would definitely
I probably still wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it because it doesn't make, to me, it just doesn't. Here's the thing, and I know it's for something. I know basically they're basing it off something, but it's just, for me, it's like there's more out there that was of more importance than this. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, to do that is just like a gimmick for me. You know what I mean? And it's just like not where I'm at, even though I know that, you know, it does come from the comics. There is references to it. It's just too much of a gimmick. And it's just me, Hot Toys, just saying, okay, let's capitalize off of something that's already out there. Let's push the button. We know that people, and it's for their market. You know, they're clearly going off of their market, but it's just like, nah, I'm good. The thing is, it's like, especially when it comes to armorized versions of things, I mean, I'm very selective about armor. I'm very selective about Iron Man armor. You know, I think the last piece that I got, and that's just because Toy is getting it for me for the holidays, for Christmas. I already wanted it, which
Mark
was
1?
that, you know, the Mark 1 War Machine, and that's it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But, you know, other than that, I'm just not into this, man. I'm really, really not. I mean, and what takes up more precedence for me than this, you know, is that Mech Tech Iron Man, that Mech Tech Tony Stark. That's dope. And because it's aesthetically great, I can imagine having that piece with you know, Pepper Potts. You know, if you have that, you know, that half piece, that half that, you know, armorized, I think it's like, I forget what they call it. Where it's just the torso version,
the Mark III construction.
Yeah, that's
construction. If you have that, that's a nice little setup. But for me, it's just not going to work for
Makes
me.
sense.
Like, it's really not. You know what I mean?
Makes sense, man. It absolutely. But hey, if they make an armorized Pennywise, then armorized Loki, hey, you got my attention.
You would really do it?
Probably not. But it would be really funny, Leo. I don't think they would ever make an armorized Pennywise, but that would be really fucking hilarious. That
you know
would
what
be
this
really
reminds me of, bro? Like, literally, when I look at stuff like this reminds me of being at a con and watching somebody cosplay as an armored version of it.
That's fair.
Because that's what they did, like, pretty much all through New York Comic Con. There were different versions of the Mandalorian. Like, they had like a armorized Mando. They had like a tuxedo version of a Mando. Like, there was just so many different Mando versions out there, and they were capitalizing on that, and it was very good to watch, pleasing to watch in person. Like, I would dig taking pictures of this in person if somebody did this, but to have it as a figure, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I think this just came out at the wrong time. You know, like if it would have came out like during a time when maybe 2 years from now or something, where like the economy was a little bit better, they weren't so backed up, and money can be floating around a little bit easier, then people would be like, yeah, why not? But when things aren't as good now, it's like you said, layout, like, you know, it's just not an important piece right now to go after. At least for
not
most,
essential.
or most, not for everyone. Right,
definitely not for everybody, but you know, eventually, I mean, but that's not taken away from the aesthetics. It's a great looking piece,
right?
Like, it really. So in some sense, you know what it reminds me of, and this is not a slight against the figure, but you know, when you actually, Mr. Mom, follow me here. You know, when you basically purchase a what is it, a Marvel Legends figure, and each of them have different pieces that come with it, or a figure. Certain things they have different pieces that you build a big, that's what it sort of reminds me of. Like, when you get all the pieces, you can form this. You know what I mean?
I just think this is one of those figures where you can count them. There's a few of them that are just going to fall through the cracks in terms of just not, like I said, I don't know. I'm just like the Punisher Wars, although that was a pretty good seller. Everyone bought that one.
I love that. That version I loved, but
really good. But like, but I keep thinking like the Doctor Strange one, like I said, from Infinity War. That one looks really cool, like the Mark 50 with like his his effects and everything. I wouldn't personally spend $400+ on it. I'd rather buy something else that's curated to my collection. But that's another figure that looks really cool. But I think it's another one that might fall through the cracks when it decides to come out.
Yeah, But I guess you could say like that one's like a comic concept. This didn't even appear anywhere. You know what I mean?
I just think it's
just
wrong timing for it, and it's a selected market of who's going to buy it. That's
I think they were just like, hey, we want to make more Iron Man, we want to make more Deadpool. Let's see what we can do here and put them together.
If the new Deadpool movie came out with Hugh Jackman, like down the road, like when it comes out, and this came out around
Armorized Wolverine.
There you go.
Dude, I mean, that honestly, Ryan, that's not a bad idea. Like, they could do a funny sort of gag like that. They could put Deadpool in like an Iron Man suit as a joke or something. Like, I think, maybe that'll happen. And then Hot Toys will be salivating. They'll be like, oh my God, we get to make another Deadpool and an Iron Man. So, yeah. But okay, guys, well, great thoughts on that Armorized Deadpool. Let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about. The Prime 1 showcase and not
Hold
Last
up,
of Us 2.
Will,
What's up, bro?
wait, before you start, I'm surprised that on here in the list of questions that you sent us and everything that we're going through that you are not going over that Gore the God Butcher.
Bro, you know why, Leo? You know why? Because I covered it on Friday, and I feel like I said so much about it already. And it's such a divisive topic, bro.
Okay,
it's like and also I really like it, but I just hate those arms, man. I
Yeah,
hate those
yeah.
arms. I'm really
Same.
annoyed by it. And like I said, I covered it pretty extensively on Friday, and I was like, I don't really want to hit it twice, So
Got you.
yeah. So anyway, that's why. But we do, Leo, have to talk about this Batman. Because I'm not the biggest 1989 Batman fan in the world, but I do like it. I enjoyed it. People are gonna hate me, but I gave it like an 8. Like, I thought it was pretty solid. But I watched it in 2022. Wow. It was 1989, right? It's a long time ago. So, but I want to preview this statue because Prime 1, they did, they showed a bunch of stuff during their showcase. This was one of them. They showed the Batman and they showed a Bruce Wayne. Yeah. So we don't have prices on this yet. We don't have sort of dollars, stuff like that. So we're going to see how this shakes out, but I want to, ask Ryan first about this preview here. Ryan, what do you think about this Bruce Wayne and Batman 2-pack? Like I said, we don't have anything on price yet, but just sort of aesthetics. What's your overall first impression?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask this question to because I love 1989 Batman. Sorry, if I could talk, that'd be great. So I always joke when people talk about like my collecting and stuff like that, and I think kind of touches on one of the questions later on, but I always joke to say my childhood was kind of on 4 pillars, which was 89 Batman, Ghostbusters, RoboCop, and Back to the Future. That was kind of my childhood. So this is one of those right there. Yeah, that was my childhood.
How old are you?
I don't know if that's it's not like that nowadays, but this one is just anything that's not like this is amazing to me. I love it. I'm not a statue person. I just between financial space, things like that, and I think I touched on it before we went on live. One thing I will say is if they can get a statue person like me, a non-statue person like me to start thinking about how I can budget this in, I think they got something there. And it's really awesome. Like, it's really cool. I mean, but I think it's one of those things, like you said, there's so many Batman out there that if this is your Batman, then it's for you. If it's not, it's not, right. I mean, I can probably do without, I don't know if they're a combo pack. Like me personally, I'd rather just have the Batman in the suit. The Michael Keaton looks great, but I would prefer just to have him in the suit. I mean, that's just me. But I like it a lot. But like I said, price is going to probably be up there. Probably what north.
What?
Over
people
2
out
Gs,
there, people out there earlier. This was crazy because we did a collector's lounge earlier. Mr. Bomb was in there. If you didn't think he was cool, then like now he cemented it today. Like straight up. he just spoke my language in about
4 pillars,
bro. In about 5 minutes, like literally did. That was dope as shit.
Yeah,
you don't see the proton pack in the background right now?
You know what I mean?
No, I didn't get to see it. Okay, the proton pack. Okay, yeah, that's dope. But
Mr. Moms, do you have the?
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have a Nectar one then?
What do you think? Right?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, damn! No. Blitzway's like.
And no, I don't. I don't have the after. I wanted the original.
The 4 pillars, man. The 4 pillars.
Carlos will sell you one, bro. But what I would say before Carlos, I'll jump to you next on this one. What I would say though, what I'm worried about is I think this tends to happen with Prime 1 Blitzway, and I don't want people. It might work out for you, but I don't want people to be duped because a lot of times what happens with these Prime 1 Blitzway sculpts, K.A. Kim comes in and produces an amazing prototype, and then the production always fails to meet that prototype. So that's something I don't want people to get their hopes up because yes, you'll probably get something that's still pretty solid, but you're most likely, almost certainly not going to get something this good. So that's something I do want to kind of caution people about because I've owned a couple Prime 1 products and I can just tell you, they really nail everything else. like the base, the costume. Really, the head sculpts are still pretty good, but K.A. Kim is so good that it's hard to produce her work and mass produce at scale. But Carlos, what do you think, bro, about this Batman and Bruce Wayne? What are your overall thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. K.A. Kim is an amazing, artist. She does great work. I mean, she's done the figures from Blitzway for the Ghostbusters. She's done basically all the prototypes, and they always come out great. The problem with Prime One, as you've said multiple times, is they just can't deliver on the head sculpt. So I wouldn't, maybe I would pre-order that Batman if you wanted to, because you're not really gonna mess that up too much.
Yeah, that should be
But if
fun.
you're thinking of getting that Bruce Wayne, I wouldn't do it. Don't pre-order it. You need to wait. This is one of those pieces that unfortunately the artist is too good for Prime One to be able to mass produce it. It's just one of those. Like she is just incredible at what she does, and they can't match it. And I'm sorry whoever got in those pieces, but you look at something like Jon Snow or Daenerys and all these other ones that keep coming out, and her protos are good. The final product just isn't. And this is gonna fall probably in line with that. But if you love 1989, which in my opinion, it's the best Batmobile, but not necessarily the best Batman. But if you love the Batman, you go on ahead and you pre-order him, not Bruce Wayne. I think you'll be fine if you really wanted to. Is this mixed media or is this all sculpted? Do you know?
I think it'll be for Bruce Wayne. It should be mixed media. I know that. For Batman, the cape should be mixed media, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
like
hey, that looks great. Yeah, I wouldn't pre-order that Bruce Wayne. I would wait, But yeah. Overall, great piece though, man. Really excited for those who love this specific Batman.
Yeah, I'm interested though. Carlos said they took sort of a J&D route. They did a 2-pack here. I didn't think they would really do that. I thought they'd just make the Batman and call it a day.
Hey,
I did get people
what did they
asking,
say? Like,
yeah, what were you gonna say?
go ahead. I was gonna say that you know how they say like copying someone is like the biggest like
form of flattery,
like, biggest compliment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they go form of flattery. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, man, it maybe they saw it and they were like, hey, that's not a bad idea, right? So I got a lot of questions about whether they would make a Jack Nicholson Joker. There seems to be something going on maybe with his likeness rights. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe he doesn't want companies making it. I don't know, right? But I don't know if that's coming anytime soon. Who knows? But because they're making Catwoman, they're making Batman, but Joker doesn't seem to be. I don't know. Maybe they'll make it. But I want to jump actually to Lael before I hit Aries on this one. So Lael, what do you think about this Prime One Batman 2-pack, bro?
Well, I remember basically going to see 89 Batman in the theaters, and I actually sat next to Aries. Aries had on an all-white suit.
Aries spit out his drink, bro.
He had on an all-white suit with a turquoise T-shirt.
He did.
And the Batman thing on. This is when Aries' beard was all black.
Mm-hmm.
And when because he says baby a lot, but that's when he had a lot of. It was 89. That's when he had a lot of babies sitting.
There was a lot of babies around him.
There was a lot of babies. He had like a whole bunch of babies, and he was like, "Hi, Aries," and he was like, "Hey, baby, I'll take care of you later."
Hey, baby, hold on, watch it back.
He was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. We're going to be friends for a very long time." But no,
Did I drink more then or more now?
Yo, I almost made you spit that.
He did,
Bro,
bro. He was like,
no, my wizard.
Yeah, but no.
You did, bro. I watched him. He was like drinking.
Right.
And he hit it at just the right time.
Spit it out. But no, Carlos was in somebody's ball sack around that time. But
He was. He was a little baby at that point.
I'm just playing. Listen.
Hey, that is true though. That is true.
That's true.
No, but 89, like literally, 89 Batman, man. That's again, it's just always, a piece of me within that, because like I said, just taking it back to 89, going to see it for the first time in the theaters. I was actually just looking at the DX09, because the thing is, I'm impatient. I'm waiting for Hot Toys to finally do a re-release on that figure, because I want it. I got the Mars. Coming. I hope so. I just got the Mars toys last week. I just got the Mars toys Joker in, because I couldn't afford to actually get the other one. So that one, Toya got it for me for my birthday, which is another piece that's going to be near and dear to my heart. So thank you, Toya. But yes, this it's incredible piece, man. But I was telling you behind the stage, or backstage, statues right now just don't sit well for me. So I'm not looking at another one until either the one that I'm wanting is satisfied, or I get my money back. But we'll talk. That's the story for another time. But this right here, again, it's an incredible piece. It's Michael Keaton. But that scares me. You know, everything that you're basically saying, that the production photos, I mean, the prototype always looks good. But once it goes into production, there's always something that's off. And when I'm looking at this, is it me or does he look a bit too tanned? Like he looks
it could
dark.
just be the lighting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's the lighting, but it's just like really, really dark.
Looks
But I mean,
Hispanic.
like
he looks Hispanic.
he does. Like his name, like Manuel.
Manuel
his
Batman.
name looks like Manuel Wayne. You know
Manuel
what I mean?
Wayne.
So, but nah, Manny Wayne.
Manny Wayne.
But no. Again, it looks like a beautiful piece, bro. Like you could tell it's mixed media with the suit. The bow tie looks clean. Yeah, it looks like an incredible piece, man. But you know, again, it just scares me that, you know, if you're saying that, you know, with the prototype, it's this way, but once it goes into production and we start getting it, it's kind of hard to produce. That's what would be scary. I'm with, you know, Mr. Mom, like I'm sticking around. Like for me, you know, statues are a dime a dozen for me. Like this, it's I have to be very, very, very selective with my pieces when it comes to those. So for me, it's just like, you know, this is going to be definitely a piece for somebody wants to get it in. I probably won't get it. But yeah, it looks incredible. But with that basically being said, though, this is this so what's the not a Carlos has called. I'm not gonna say that. But you know what? Thank you for reminding me. But this is a quarter scale, right?
I think it'll probably be third scale. Yeah.
Oh, so okay, so it's
scale.
third scale. So isn't that Catwoman third scale as well?
I think so. Yeah.
This would be a decent companion piece next to that. Like
aren't they
whoever's getting
different
it.
films though, Leo? They're companion
Batman
pieces,
Returns.
But Batman
films.
Returns, even still, you can still have it.
Yeah,
you know,
can
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the media or the film. You can still have them next to each other. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's still.
I mean,
look
you
good.
really can't, but yeah, you can.
You can. You definitely can. You definitely can. If you're sticking on film, okay, of course you can't. But I mean, we're talking about, you know, real world problems and how we can just change things around and make it look good aesthetically for ourselves, for it to work. But again, like I said, it just depends on the person. I mean, I'm happy for whoever's actually going to get it, but I'll probably pass on it.
Yeah, makes sense, bro. Well, Aries, bro, since you were in the theater in a white tuxedo with ladies around you, can you tell us what your overall thoughts, bro, is on this 1989 Batman from Prime 1?
Well, I'm a little disappointed to hear. I was listening to you guys talk about this, that Prime 1 can't keep up with the artist right now, because when I was looking at this and I knew it was going to be one of the topics on your show, and it was the Prime 1 event, I was saying, wow, this is such an incredible head sculpt. Now, albeit it's a statue, and I don't collect statues right now, but it's really, I think, really, really nice. A really great addition of Michael Keaton there. But I would have to agree that, yeah, I mean, you guys would have the experience if you don't think that it's going to necessarily be at this level, and I guess we don't know, but if that's been the pattern, then I would say yes, you probably would rather go maybe with the masked version. But that's that's crazy. So I don't remember, who'd you say that the artist's name? Who was she again?
K.A. Kim. Yeah.
K.A. Kim. So hopefully maybe some other places could utilize her work and be able to produce it.
She used to be a hot toy sculptor, right?
I think
so.
Oh, really? A lot of these artists do start with hot toys, from what I've seen. Like J&D, what's his name?
She was Hot Toys.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Right.
Yeah, the J&D guy, the owner, I forget. He was Hot Toys too.
Well, they should bring her back with her. She's doing work like this, because it's really, really nice. But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard looking at these statues, because they're such incredible pieces of art, so well crafted. They're so gorgeous. And then, but I try and stay in my lane, try and stay with the figures, because once you start jumping, Will, into something else,
you're fucked.
You're cracked. Yeah, you really, really are. Because listen, you could go in with the best intentions, and thinking, I'm only going to get one, and I'm going to put one here, and maybe in a couple years I'll get a companion piece. And you could go in, you could have it budgeted, you could have it written down, you could drink on it, you could sleep on it, you could pray on it, whatever the heck you want, and then you still wind up going down that hole. So it's always really, really
Bro.
you know what I'm talking about. You know it's the truth.
Yes,
We gotta
because
get Mr.
I
Mom.
remember that I was like, oh, J&D? No, I can't do J&Ds. Now I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna stick to 5 J&Ds.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to
I'm like,
5 J&Ds.
half scales, they're too big. All right, I can do 4. So it's like it's slowly just
that
like
it is
that.
it is Aries, because once you have that first taste of that thing, then it changes everything, because it normalizes it. Like I remember when I paid $2K for my half scale Pennywise, I was like, I will never pay $2K for a collectible. And now I'm like, that legless at $3K, that's a good price. I'm like, that's that's what happens.
Well,
So,
and I'm like, for an hour yesterday, and I kid you not, it could have been even longer,
yeah.
on Sideshow, doing my regular research and different things like that and looking for stuff for myself. But I'm so close. I'm like, buy one, get one, 50% off. And then I have some rewards. And I have they have the discount codes. And I'm seeing that, man, that biker scout on that speeder bike is looking really, really good. 50% off. I'm just going to get that because it's on the bike. Oh, I get to put it with Endor Leia. I get to put it with the Endor Luke. I don't need the other troopers. I'm about to click and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy every damn trooper here. That's what's going to happen. So I hold myself back. At least
Well,
it's hard,
guys,
man. It's hard. Like 50% off, buy one free. I wish adult magazines were like that, but dude, it's not even like that anymore,
bro.
I get it.
All right, we're ending the discussion on Batman on that note. And I see Lael's comment, by the way. Carlos is imagining Will's feet right now. Isn't he always Lael? I feel like that's a constant thing with him. So.
Yeah, it is. For some
I actually
reason,
don't have socks on right now, so if someone drops a super chat wants to see, let me know.
Please don't do that.
I'll share. We do get a super chat to discuss though. Lane Kramer, will you hit Harley who laughs tonight? Probably not, Lane. I appreciate the super chat though. And did you guys see that on Prime 1? The Harley who laughs? It looked pretty cool. I didn't
see it at all.
It looked pretty cool. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. It was basically, maybe I can pull it up real quick if I can find it. But essentially, like when I saw it, I was like, that's probably titled Harley Who Laughs. And it was. So it was, it just basically looked like the Batman Who Laughs with Harley and some dogs, basically. Let me see. Hold on. Like someone took some screenshots of it. I can share real quick. Yeah, see. These are like a little bit, like grainy. But this is from the showcase. So they showed the eyes and everything in the close-ups, and that's what it looks like. So she's got like dogs, and yeah. So I think it's a 3rd scale. I'm not sure, but
she got is those hyenas?
Yeah.
They're hyenas.
Yeah. So I called them dogs, but close enough. Close enough. Close enough. Oh, Carlos, bro. Is that for the feet?
Obviously, it's for the feet. Let's see.
Hold on. I'm not looking. I'm definitely not looking. I am definitely not looking.
Drop another 20. I'll show the other foot, bro. I'll show the other one. Carlos can do that. He can afford this. Leo left. Leo left. All right, guys. So superhero displays. What grail do you always ask Santa for? So let's ask the panel that one real quick before we get to the next topic. Thanks so much for the super chat, though, bro. I appreciate it. Hot Toys Hotline, but a pukes. Bro, these feet are grails, okay? Come on now. All right, what grail do you always ask Santa for? Let's go around the panel real quick and ask that. So real quick, Mr. Mom, what grail do you need in your collection?
A grail? Ooh.
The Ecto 1?
Ecto 1.
Yeah, to be honest with you, my grail list is way too big. I stopped my grail hunting. No, not the Ecto 1. The probably 2, if I had to choose, too expensive. One is I always wish, and the Blitzway Ghostbusters 4-pack. I mean, that is just
Damn, dude. Sucks you don't have it.
Yeah.
Carlos doesn't have it either. Don't let him play you, bro. But that's a good one, bro. For me, I would say probably Dark Side Anakin that I sold a while back. So what about you, Carlos? What grail do you ask Santa for?
Oh man, Santa meaning myself. So probably oh man. All right, there's one. Can I say 2? Is that all right if I say 2?
If you want.
All right. The Captain Jack Sparrow DX-15. I've always been wanting that, but not a used one, a clean new one. And then the Boba Fett Return of the Jedi. I had it, I sold it, I regret it every day. So
well, if you stop spending $20 on feet pics,
it's worth it to Carlos, though, Ryan. It's worth it to him.
Exactly, it's the value.
Yeah. So, Leia, what grail are you looking for Christmas, bro? Real quick before we get to the next one.
Jern
I already got that. You already know.
Armorized Gin or so.
Probably. Again, I mean, I think I'm closer to possibly getting the Farm Boy Luke now than ever. So I think I'm actually closer to getting that one now. But besides that, again, unless they miraculously release this figure soon, it's that DX09. I mean, that's definitely one
Gotcha.
that I would love to have in the collection. So yeah, especially now that I have that that Joker, it'd be decent to have.
Yeah. What about you, Aries, to round this out?
Hell, I'm waiting for my Hoth Luke and my Hoth Han from Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a future Grail, so there you go.
Okay, that
It'll
works.
be a future Grail if they come out with it. But one could wish. I asked Santa.
Yeah.
Or actually, I don't ask Santa. I asked the Hot Toys wizard every year. We'll see what happens this year.
Yeah. Well, hope it happens this year.
Wrong
Thanks
every
much,
year,
Super
huh?
Place. Nah, bro. This year it's happening, Carlos. It's happening, bro.
It's happening this year.
Yeah,
Carlos.
it's happening.
Gotcha.
Guys, so as we're approaching the holiday season, we have Geeksgiving, we'll have Black Friday, they'll have the sideshow Christmas thing, whatever it's called. I forget. I registered for it. I got $5 in rewards, so I was very happy about it. So that's exciting. But will you buy figures if the Black Friday price is right? I want to ask this question to the panel because I think for a lot of people, this is probably going to be because there's probably a lot of figures you've been waiting on or been kind of flip-flopping, undecided on. They're like you mentioned, if there's a figure like this Armorized Deadpool that pops up for 200 or some shit like that, then you're going to be like, maybe I didn't want that, but I want it now, right?
Nah,
so
hell no.
that's why I kind of Armorized Gin or so. But I want to ask the panel, and I'll start with Ryan again on this one, Mr. Mom. So if the price is right on Black Friday, is that something that you could see yourself doing, like purchasing a few figures here and there? Like, do you tend to shop based on deals? How do you approach it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously, I'm very budgeted in terms of how I have payment plans through Sideshow. That's kind of my bread and butter, how I get my figures. So I don't normally buy figures like a la carte, like pay up front full. So I kind of rely heavily on payment plans, just the way I have things budgeted. That doesn't mean that something sneaks its way in. Like, for example, I have two, coming next on Monday. I have a Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper coming. That was a total fluke. I'm actually I'm on the photography kick, so I'm going to take that and go outside and throw it in the dirt and take some photos with that thing. And then the other thing, which was a sneak up I had to, was the 1984 Golden Armor Wonder Woman. I got 30% off, free shipping, and I ended up with some points. I paid $100 and change for that figure. And so that was a steal. So I always say no. My wallet says no, but I can't pass up a deal right now. Like with the buy one, get one, the only thing I would have maybe got, which I've done multiple times, is just do some troopers and, pick up a different combination like that, like right there, the trooper that I get like two of him and then maybe something else because, do photography, have a nice little army going outside to do some things like that. But at the end of the day, it's always held me back. But yeah, if a deal comes up, that's like stupid not to pass up. It's hard to pass it up.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from on that. Yeah. So Aries, I'm going to jump back to you on this one, do it slightly out of order. Aries, what about you, man? Is there anything you're looking for on Black Friday? Do you tend to shop based on deals or value? How do you approach this?
Well, I do a lot of research. You know that, right, baby?
Yep.
So I'm going to be seeing it. But yeah, no, I'm going to be honest with you. I was close over the last week. I was close yesterday. The price is right. I think that I would. My question is, do you guys think it could get even more lucrative, even more enticing than buy one, get one 50%?
Oh, you haven't heard what I have to say then.
well,
Aries, Carlos has been saying 40% off.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember being on the last show with you, and you were thinking 40 or even 50% off just one figure, right? But you have to wonder, would I go ahead and actually buy one if it's 40% off? I might just get that, Return of the Jedi, biker scout with the bike if it's 50% off. I mean, it'd be really hard to pass up if they're going to mark it down so low. I mean, they're just in that situation right now where I think that could happen, Will, with some of those figures. I just saw a Tusken Raider sell on eBay for $147.
Wow.
That's like,
wow.
I mean, I just saw that. So people are just, and it had a lot of bids. They want to buy it. They just don't want to buy it for that price. So if I see some stuff on here, yeah, I'm keeping my eye open, Will. I am 1000% keeping my eye open, but also I am going to be careful. And I think we all do need to be careful, because you can go down that rabbit hole of, hey, I got this really cheap, but then you start opening the door if you get other companion pieces with it. So I'm going to, if I can get a good, I don't have that Tuscan Raider you have up on the screen. That would be one. If I see it at a really good price, like I saw at eBay, or they mark it off 50%, like Carlos is saying, I'll probably get it, because I don't have to worry about falling into a hole with the Tuscan Raider. A Trooper, I'm going to be like, I don't know. But it depends on what the figure is. But 40-50% off, Carlos, man, that would be, will these all be out then if they do that?
That's the goal. Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably be doing it at the holidays too, probably before Christmas and all that. Probably get even stronger.
I bet you they are. They're trying to get everything out before the end of the year, probably.
That's it. The end game's probably to clean house.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, I've said the end of year or the Christmas sale would be bigger than Black Friday, because it'll be their last push before to clear everything out. 100%.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense. So
yeah,
I'll be very interested to see some of those quarter scale pieces. I think there's still the quarter scale Mandalorian with that awesome base that goes with that Grogu that's separate. How far can that go down? Yeah, that's going to be real interesting. I mean, just talking about Star Wars, I mean, how low could they go on that full scale Grogu?
Yeah,
90%.
90%.
I'll buy it, baby.
Do you see? I don't know if you saw that, Aries. It was like a Jeepers Creepers thing. Yeah, it was 90% off. It was 90%.
Was it really?
Yeah. It was like a prop or something on Sideshow, and I saw someone posted it. It was Sideshow put it for 90% off. They were like, "Please take this."
Wow. If 90% on a piece, that's $500. Doesn't tell you the Sideshow is saying we don't want to fucking hold anything. I don't know what tells you that they don't want to have stock right now, because they know like the recession's gonna get worse. They're like, we got to get out of this shit now.
That's I just saw before the show or earlier today, they have their own Grievous at 30% off right now.
Yep, they do. And I don't even think that's enough, Aries. I don't know if that's enough to entice people to.
It's like $190. I mean, I mean, if they put that one, I mean, I was actually looking at that Grievous when I saw it at 190. I'm like, if they put that at 50% off,
I think I'm in the minority that I love that figure, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Well, I've heard the joints are the problem.
I love it.
Kick him.
Hey, Ryan, I would love it for $100 if they drop it low enough.
Listen, I posed it. The pose that it's in has been like that since the day I got it, and fingers crossed it hasn't moved. So as long as it doesn't fall, it's in my, it's perfect. It's
You'll be good then. So Carlos, I want to jump to you actually before I want to hear Lael's thoughts too, really bad. But Carlos, I got to hear you, man, on this one with Black Friday. Do you shop based on deals for Black Friday? Do you think people should do that? What are your overall thoughts?
So Carlos 2.0 would have been all over this, but Carlos 3.0 now decides, no, like I've just like Aries, I'm starting to be more and more selective and understanding that if I get something, I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. So right now, no, man, there's anything that I wouldn't buy, because if I would have bought it already at 20% or 25% or something, you know what I mean, or bought it on Facebook groups because it's even lower than 30%. But I just feel like at this point, I wouldn't have. The only piece that I would consider rebuying would be the tumbler, and that's if they were to do something crazy like 50%. Because I bought it at $500 and I sold it for $450, so I took a $50 loss. I did. But if I can get it for like $300 or lower, okay, I may do something like that. But honestly, I probably won't. Aside from that, I wouldn't. Now, what's crazy is that no one is talking about is what if Pop Culture, who already has their stuff listed for 50% off, they put those bitches on 40% off. Now that's gonna be a big sale because their Iron Patriots already like 30% off. You can buy it right now, an additional 40, which they did like 20% a couple months ago or a month ago. Now those I may buy. Like you can get Iron Patriot for $150
because it's gonna be like $100.
It's gonna be like $100 or something. I was like, well, fuck, I'll buy everything at a fucking $100. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Toys Wonderland did that recently. Carlos, Orlando was $90. Like, I mean, Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sold out
Wow.
pretty quickly,
I
but
called
yeah, they
email
listed it.
about that.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
like
more-
$90 to $95.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
so much more
Wow.
infuriated about buying that figure.
Yep. I'm sure there
There's
were a
some
lot of
rare
people
Black
that wanted
series
it.
that go more than that.
Yeah, I
Goodness.
know.
I
So,
would
yeah,
say
Carlos, go
though,
ahead.
the place for Black Friday won't even be Sideshow. I think it's gonna be Pop Culture because they're gonna
Really?
do
Okay.
40% off, and their figures are already right now listed for 30 to 40% off. So an additional 40, you're gonna get that bitch for free, basically. You know, like
like it's gonna be
like
Jeepers
those are
Creepers
the
prices.
yeah. That's probably gonna be like the hottest deals you can get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can buy like whatever you want. You know, Lael's little gauntlet there. It's all gonna be for sale. All of it on Pop Culture.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro. So what about you, Leia? Are you gonna be shopping for some deals on Black Friday?
Not at all.
Not at all? No gin or so? No
Nah,
second gin or
bro.
so?
Because like I said, I mean, it's Christmas, man. So like right
Yeah.
now, I'm in full fledged for the kiddies right now. Just making sure that they're
Mm.
taken care of. So I'm on hold technically, unless it's something that's already been paid for that comes out that drops. Then I'm good. But yeah, I mean, because honestly, like there's nothing I can honestly say, that at a deal. Depending on for me, it just depends. Because there's very certain things that are selective for me. I'm more so again vested in things that haven't dropped yet, things that I'm still waiting on. Like I have to keep. I hate to keep pressing that button, but again, things that are delayed. I mean, because for people like, I'll give you an example. Say for instance, you basically go down this whole road of Black Friday. All right, you start purchasing stuff, buying this, that, and the third. And then come Monday morning, they drop Loki. What's going to happen at that particular point? Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah, right.
what happens when you plan for these things, you start purchasing and doing all this other stuff, and then figures that you've been waiting on for a certain amount of time, they finally drop. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't want to pigeonhole myself. If it's there after the holidays, then I'm all in. But besides that, I'm good. Like I can just wait. I just want to get through everything that I've been waiting on first. Make sure that the kiddies are cool. Again, following through with this, Thanksgiving initiative, also just the whole Toys for Tots situation. So that's pretty much where everything that I'm doing is going towards, because I want to fulfill those things first. That's where my heart is right now. So that's where it's at. But everything else that I've already paid for, once it's released, then I'm all in. I'm good. I'm good. So
Yeah. Makes sense though. Makes sense. Yeah. Cause with me, I don't think I'm necessarily shopping for anything in particular. I mean, if there's something that pops up that I'm really interested in, the one layout that I'm very intrigued by that I've just had on my mind for a while is Miles Morales from Spider-Verse. That one, if I see a good discount on that, I'm very tempted by that because I love that film and I love that character.
Surprised you haven't gotten that figure yet, bro.
I know, bro. I've been really holding off on it because I really want to wait and see what's going to happen. But I love that film.
You know what's going to be crazy? And this is what I wonder if they're banking on, if Sideshow's banking on this. There's a figure that's a third-party figure that's supposed to be dropping next month. That Rogue.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Now they're the only ones that got that Mickey Mouse looking Gambit, pretty much in their stock. So I wonder if people are going to push the button and pull the trigger and get that particular figure as a stand-in, because they know they don't want to pay those umpteen prices now for the Gambit that they might have lost on. So I'm wondering if that might work to their advantage. I wouldn't do it, but we'll definitely see if something like that would actually happen. That Grievous, man, I'm sorry.
Ryan's on an island on that one.
I'm sorry, bro. Like I could not. I mean, I just seen too many tragedies with that piece. So I was like,
hey, I'm one of the good ones. Hey, listen, it's posed up next to Count Dooku.
You got it.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Count Dooku's an awesome figure, dude. That figure is that's
Oh,
not a figure
yeah.
I would sell.
I got those two in the same piece together, and I got no complaints.
That's like one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen.
I'm very tempted. There might be a Django Fett that might be going.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep my eyes out on Django.
You don't have Django yet?
No, I don't. He's one of the ones that I fell down the Boba. That's what I gotta say. It's one of the things. Not to get off track. It's one of the things I never thought I'd get into was Boba Fett specifically, like that character. And I'm starting to like, all right, get the next one. I get the next one. I mean, I got the little trio right there.
See, Aries knows.
Little trio. Yeah. I need that 40.
You got a lot more coming, baby.
Yeah.
I need that Empire. I need that Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary version.
Yeah, bro. That Django is on point though, bro. It is. I'm not going front. It is. I love it.
All right, guys. Well, good thoughts on that Black Friday topic. I kind of want to, because I'm not sure Layoff will do a Thanksgiving stream or not. I'm not sure. I got to check on everyone's availability. But if we don't, we're going to hit on that topic this evening. Collecting Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving's right around the corner this Thursday. Very excited. And of course, Black Friday being Friday. So I want to ask you guys, what are you most thankful for in collecting for 2022? I kind of want to keep it just to collecting. You can talk about community within collecting. You could talk about items that came out, opportunities that you got. Because most of us are going to say like, oh, I'm thankful for my health or my family, stuff like that. But I kind of want to keep it to collecting specifically. So I want to start with Mr. Mom on this one. Mr. Mom, what are you most thankful for in 2022 in regards to collecting?
I mean, it's a very good question. I mean,
Right.
to be honest, I'm just grateful to be in the hobby, that I enjoy it, that it's something that there's no end game for me. There's no end. There's hobbies where you could see kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, where there's an end game to it, where you're in it for this amount of time. This collection, I only got into Hot Toys 2.5 years ago. So, I mean, I've been collecting other stuff, but Hot Toys specifically. And this is one of those where my collection is ever evolving. It never is what it is. It's my collection. It's Ryan's collection. You walk in my room, it's my stuff. So every time a new Hot Toy comes out, everyone's arguing over the head sculpt, elbows, gore, things like that. I just kind of take a step back and just be grateful that, there's a company that's still producing these figures. There's so many IPs out there. And, I really get to pick and choose what I want to get. And there's been an incredible amount of figures that have come out this year, whether it been actually released in hand or even just announced for next year. So I'm just grateful for that altogether. I mean, and honestly for me, not only I had the opportunity to get a couple grails, kind of curate my collection a little. That's what I try to do, is every year try to curate my collection and really fine tune it a little more every time. I'm much more strategic in now how I collect. That's probably a big thing, is how I collect, and in terms of what I collect. I don't just grab everything. I'm very, very particular about what I get now. I have to be. And that's really it. And the other thing about me, and just to touch base, I know I have to jump off, is just starting the whole content creation thing. I'm also thankful for the community of people, because that comes with it also. You can't separate the two. If you're collecting Hot Toys, you're in the community, you're in the chats, you're in the groups, you're talking, you're buying from people, you're interacting with people like I am now, watching all you guys on the streams. So I'm really thankful for that I was really welcomed in open arms with everybody. And Carlos is sitting there like making faces already. So
Carlos doesn't welcome anyone with open
arms.
No,
but it's the truth. It's the truth. It is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm grateful for everything. I don't take it for granted. A lot of the things we talk about are like first world problems when we're arguing about elbow joints on a figure. I mean, there's always another figure to replace that one. There's always another figure. So that's what it is. So I'm just grateful for the whole experience, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And I want to hop in a little bit real quick and just say my quick thanks. One of the honest things, the community obviously is always number one, but I think a lot of us are going to say that. I want to give some love to the Scorpion, because I told someone on Instagram that I would. The thing that I want to say I'm thankful for is, and Leo, I've never been the biggest third-party guy, right? But I'm a changed man, because I love that I'm getting the opportunity to collect a figure of a character that I love, that a licensed company is not willing to take the chance on. So I do want to give a lot of props and kudos to the third-party companies, specifically to Limb Toys, to Game Toys, and then to Pop Toys, because these three companies have delivered me really great figures in my collection that have become among my absolute favorites that a licensed company was not going to touch. So I'm very happy that I was able to get these in my collection for characters that mean a lot to me, that I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity otherwise. So they're filling a very valuable void. And I think that's pretty cool. So some of the Leo, I love my Final Fantasy figures. I love my Scorpion. So yeah, man. So, and I want to jump actually to you, Leo, next before we get to Aries. So Leo, what are you most thankful for in collecting for 2022, bro?
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm thankful. What I'm most thankful for, bro, is innovation. I'm most thankful for the simple fact that we have companies like InArt that have actually come out, and regardless of what people want to say, and regardless of some comments, it has pushed Hot Toys to start producing figures at a much more top tier level. I mean, we know that, again, they've been in the game for so long. They're pretty much, they've been wearing the crown for a long time. But again, there's pressure on, and I'm glad that there's innovation to give us more diorama bases, more vehicles, improve on head sculpts. they need to start improving on these bodies now, because I mean, come on now, you've been in the game for a long time. You got to step your game up when it comes to that. But I am happy for that level of innovation, and that we have companies like InArt that can come out and really push the button when it comes to that level of innovation. You know what I mean? On top of that, I'm happy that there are certain figures. Here's the thing that's going to probably get me in trouble, but again, I'm not someone who looks at I don't need to have something that's specifically for me in my collection that I hold near and dear. But I'm happy that there have been some reissues to figures that I might have missed out on, because now I have a chance to get them. You know what I mean? I didn't have a chance to get that Mark V before. Now I have a chance. I didn't have a chance to get that Batman Begins figure. Now I have a chance. Hopefully they give Star Wars some love when it comes to some of those reissues and, re-releases. I mean, because they need to. But I'm glad that we're starting to see some of that now. I know that that's not really a heavy topic for it's a heavy topic for a lot of people because some people don't like it. But think about the collectors who haven't had a chance to really get these figures, who missed out on it the first time, and now they have a chance to get it. I mean, I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? Because again, I probably wouldn't have seen the Mark I War Machine suit reissued. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have actually had a chance to get my hands on a Selena Kyle Catwoman. You know what I mean? Hopefully, like I said, they give us more figures when it comes to Star Wars that I've actually missed out on. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that they do something like that. But that's what I'm most happy about. Is the simple fact that now everybody gets a chance. Everybody, can really enjoy their collection, live through their collection. And on top of that, like I said, mental health is a real thing. We talked about this earlier. Some people utilize this as an escape. I'm glad. And that now in 2022, going into 2023, people who deal with mental health, they have an escape and they can live through these collections. So that's what I'm most grateful for, that it's keeping a lot of people. Laugh about it all you want. It's like a lot of people that might laugh and think that it's, oh no, come on. No, collecting is keeping people alive because it's keeping people sane and keeping them from doing things that they could be doing differently that's unsafe. So
yeah, it's a healthy outlet. So absolutely, bro. Well, Aries, what about you, bro? What are you most thankful for in this year? Because like I said, Leo and Ryan both given some really good ones. What about you, man?
No, and those are really, really good ones. And I concur with those absolutely. And I think, certainly, and I know you said don't mention the community, but I am very thankful for the community.
Yeah.
All of you guys, all the channel creators. And I think that's why you got so many people like in your chat and that go on all the chats that really it gets infectious. Not just what Lael was talking about, it's an outlet, but people come on these shows because they're not just entertained, but they feel like that they're part of something. They feel like that they are connected. I feel like I am connected with them when I go ahead and I put out a show or I do a show or I come on your show as well. So I think it's just very thankful that we have this community, that we have this outlet, that I have this this outlet. I need it as well. So, and I'm also just so honored that people would even listen to anything that I would have to say. And hopefully it's correct 1 or 2% of the time. But no, and as far as just with the collecting itself, honestly, C3PO, finally, Howard Chan came out with C3PO, one of the pivotal, most iconic characters for Star Wars. And how many years, Will?
Yeah.
And guys, are we waiting for a C3PO? Now, albeit, I will say.
And we're still waiting for the right one.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, how many of you dreamed that night? Boy, I really hope Hot Toys and Howard puts out that C3PO from the Attack of the Clones movie.
Yep.
You weren't thinking. I mean, maybe some of you were, but I think for the most part, no. But I am very thankful.
Right,
that was one. I have a few things, so that's one thing there. Bo-Katan, a lot of controversy, and I was really, really hoping. I was like, please let this thing be decent. It's more than decent. It's really, really nice. Yeah. So
it's a good looking piece. Hell
yes, very thankful for that. And here's another one, and this should be no surprise to any of you. April 13th, what happened? 2022, Bespin Luke
Okay.
DX25. And of
Gotcha.
course, I'm very, very, and that also gave me hope for some other Empire Strikes Back figures that we're waiting and still waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting on. But it gives us a glimmer of hope. We got the Luke. So I feel like that those are some pretty big pieces this year. So some pretty big things. Hey, they did well on the Katie Sackhoff head sculpt. They gave you a C-3PO. People have been, asking, where is another DX07 or another, a 2.0 of the Bespin Luke? And we got it. And plus, there's other things. We got finally a tease of a Mace Windu.
Yeah, we did.
It's not the announcement, but it's right there. So I feel like that I'm very thankful for Star Wars wise that there is a lot of hope out there for some of the figures that we're waiting for. Frog Lady tomorrow.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And Aries, I know you got to run, man. So thank you so much for joining, man. Is there anything you want to talk about with your channel that's coming up?
You know what, Will? Just want to say thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure. Can't wait to come on again. Great to meet you in person, Ryan. So awesome. And Carlos, we got to have you on the show. We've been on shows now the last months together. So
the biggest Star Wars fan in the world.
There you go. Let me ruin your shit.
We'll have fun, baby. We'll have fun. And Lael, always a pleasure.
Yes, brother.
No, I mean, really, for any of you out there, have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great evening. 6 Scale Cantina. You know where it is. And make sure you subscribe to these guys. Thanks, Will.
All right, Aries. I'll catch you later, man. Everyone subscribe to 6 Scale Cantina.
Have a good one.
All right.
Stay thirsty.
Cool. All right. So, Carlos, what are you most thankful, dude, in 2022 in regards to collecting? Fill us in.
So not community or any, it has to be like figure-wise,
I mean, you can say, no, so I think maybe Aries misunderstood what I was saying. Because community, you can absolutely say community. But what I was saying is like things outside of collecting. Things like your health or your family or like, your girlfriend or whatever, right? Stuff like that. Because obviously we'd all probably say that. I just mean specific to collecting. Community's part of that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So for me, man, I love being in the hobby, but the hobby is not a priority for me. You know what I mean? For me has been very much at the end of the day, the things that we do, we just collect things. You know what I mean? It's they're not important because they're really not. They're just a thing of something that makes us remember and feel good for temporarily. But what I'm most thankful for is probably the lifelong friends I've made, really close ones like Lael, and now meeting Ryan and others. And then the ones where we go that we've been able to bond him in a little bit, deeper outside of collecting, where we talk about some of our struggles outside of just daily lives, like with you, Will, and bitch ass Riley and Optical, right? Like those are the ones that we've bonded even more. So those are the things I'm most thankful for, because collecting can end today, but the friendships with everyone on this panel, won't end. As much as I want to say, and even some members in the community that I talk to that are not necessarily in the panel. So I would say I'm most thankful for that, because collecting, who knows, man, the economy can go to shit 3 months from now and none of us can be collecting, but I can guarantee you I'll be calling up Will and I'll be like, yo, motherfucker, like, do you see what happened? And I'll be texting Lael and now Ryan, right? Like, that's really what's important. Like, all this shit is just stuff. And at the end of the day, stuff is what it is. It's pointless and meaningless. But friendships, like, that you build like lifelong. It's funny because I said, I have a feeling that when I'm 82, I'm going to die. And then you said, I can't wait till I'm at your funeral at 81 and be like, he was fucking wrong. You know what I mean? So
that is true, though. You are going to be wrong.
Like, you know what I mean? Just like little things like that. So that's what I'm most thankful for, the friendships, lifelong friendships. So yeah.
Absolutely, bro. Because that's always going to be number one in this community. I mean, that's, I think, why we all stream, honestly. I mean, like, it's fun to go on here and give our thoughts and engage with people, but that's the whole point, engaging with other like-minded people that, because, most of us in our lives don't really have people that want to talk about this stuff with us. Like, this is not something that's interesting to most people. I mean, unless you really are able to captivate them yourself by just giving a good pitch. But other than that, I mean, they're just going to be like, yeah, I like Game of Thrones, but I don't want to talk about collecting with you all the time. But these guys here in this
Right.
panel and everyone in the chat, we can do that. We can be like, bro, did you see that fucking Witch King?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the kind of stuff that you can't, you know, and it goes beyond that. That leads into a conversation about, you know, this or that or the third, like Carlos said, our struggles or whatever, like whatever else we're going through. But collecting just sort of that water cooler talk to lead you to something deeper. So that's what I think. That's why, you know, that's why I think it's a blast. But anyway, guys, great thoughts on that one. We'll see how much time we have. We might have time for one, maybe two more topics, but I want to ask kind of another big picture question. And I kind of want to start with Leo on this one.
Yo.
So why are hot toys worth collecting? And I think this is a question, Leo, because I've seen this in the analytics and what I've seen exploring these type of things that a lot of people search for. A lot of people wonder why these things are so expensive and why they're considered worth it to the people who purchase them. So, Leo, I want to ask you, I know nostalgia is a big thing for you. What is the main reason or reasons, rather, of why hot toys are worth collecting to you?
You just said it. Nostalgia.
See, I knew it.
That's it. I mean, nostalgia, like, why else do we collect? It's to have a piece of something that's memorable, something that we, you know, whether it's a film, a television show, you know what I mean? Just, again, you know, you want to have something that, you know, kind of takes you back to those moments where you can recreate. You can have, you know, a piece of it in your collection. You know, you can, you know, have discussions about it. It's a really, really good art piece to have. And again, like, it just takes you back to, you know, the first time that, you know, 1973 or not 1973, 1977, you know, walking in, sitting down, watching Star Wars for the very first time. You know what I mean? Before it changed to New Hope, it was Star Wars, just Star Wars. It takes me back, you know, like, you know, again, going to see RoboCop in the theaters for the very first time, watching, you know, Ghostbusters, and just having the temptation to just have a bag of marshmallows after you got done watching it. You know what I mean? Just, you know, all these things, Aliens, you know, just Outlaw Josie Wells, like everything that basically we've seen in you know, throughout, you know, history. Now that, you know, Hot Toys, and we have some of these third-party companies that are making these pieces, but Hot Toys mainly making things that, you know, we have a connection to. That's the importance, I think, and what makes it worth it. You know what I mean? Star Wars has been, you know, the pillar of my life. Marvel has been the pillar of my life. So to have, you know, these things in my collection that I can look back and say, hey, you know, I remember this moment, or hey, this looks great. I mean, to have this piece, to have a head sculpt, you know, that represents, you know, an actor, even though, you know, again, may she rest in peace, to have, you know, an art piece of Carrie Fisher in my collection. You know, someone, again, growing up, you know, characters that, you know, were so memorable, you know, even now, you know, a lot of people who have figures of, you know, people that are long gone, or, you know, that actually passed, untimely death. Again, it's a connection. It is mainly having that connection to things that we've loved, that we cherish. And yeah, I think it's just so worth it. And the thing is, it's the anticipation. Once you get hooked, it's like a brand new tattoo. You always want to have another one. You have to have another one. You can't wait to see what's coming next. All of us, what are we doing this week? Right now, what are we doing at this very moment? We're here, but our mind is on waking up in the morning, seeing what Hot Toys is going to release this week, or what's going to actually be the new release or reveal. That's what we look forward to. I mean, again, like, that's just real talk. And that's the thing, is it's infectious. You know, Howard Chan created something that he knew that there were people out there like us that would gravitate to it. And it's huge. It's really huge. And the thing is, the community isn't as big as we think, but it is growing. It's much bigger than it was 3-4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's bigger now, and it's continuous to grow. And like, hell, Hot Toys and these figures have made the news. Hell, one Hot Toy figure, even though fucking Harrison Ford destroyed it on TV, it made it on the Tonight Show. You know what I mean? You have like some of these actors talking about it and stuff like that, but it's there. You know what I mean? But, you know, of course, we can say that we've been there since its, you know, conception. And, you know, again, you know, we'll be there to the end, because it kind of takes us back, and we love it. So,
yeah, absolutely, bro. Great answer. And Ryan, Mr. Mom Collectibles, man, what about you? Like, why are Hot Toys worth collecting to you?
What he said.
You just want to echo that one. Okay.
How do I mean, yeah, how do you follow up that? It's everything that I'm thinking. I'm listening to everything he's saying. I'm like,
you're like, yep,
different, but I'm like, no, but it's the truth. And you know what's great about that is that when someone can say something, you feel that exact same way about it. You don't really have to verbatim change anything. The one thing that I will say is getting someone. It's kind of like I think about like also with like music, like trying to get someone to listen to another artist that you like, talking about it, but like putting, getting them to listen to it and seeing their reaction to it. That's how it was for me when I got my very first hot toy. I had a coworker that was in the hobby, and he was trying to explain to me, oh, you like collecting because we had, Ghostbusters, all the stuff. You should check out hot toys. I'm like, what are these things? And I was like, my first impression was, wow, they're expensive toys. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Get one in your hand and you will see the difference. I'm like, they're expensive toys. My first one, I was like, okay, I get it. But he's like, no, just take a leap of faith and spend $400 and buy one. I bought the Iron Man Mark 43. And when that figure came, and I tell a story before, I opened it up. The weight of it, I didn't expect it to weigh the way, the weight of it. I opened up, and myself, I'm a big supporter of supporting local artists, things like that. I mean, despite all the connections you have to your childhood, you're holding a piece of art in your hand. And people, sometimes don't think of it that way. We argue about head sculpts not looking right, but someone sat there and did that for days, hours. Whether or not you think it looks like that person or not, someone sat there and sculpted that, painted that, whatever. And then you can argue afterwards whether it looks wrong or not. But the point is that when I opened up that figure and I saw that Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt, I'm like, I realized instantly I'm holding something different than a quote
than just a regular,
and then just to touch base. I mean, like I said, like behind me, I got I got the Mars toys, Jack Nicholson. I got Batman next to him, DX09. That's childhood,
bro.
Below that is Marty and RoboCop. That's childhood. That's what that is.
No,
so those are my pillar stones. I'm not going to get my Ghostbusters. I have to live with that. But I mean, it's just so cool. And like, when the DeLorean comes in next year, I'm gonna have it set up with Doc, and you get to recreate that moment.
Bro.
It's something that's
DeLorean?
It's hard to explain, and not to try to plug anything, but I see that in my daughter. My daughter's like 2.5 years old, and I've been taking photos and videos of her coming in here and looking at these things. And those are genuine impressions that she has when she looks at a hot toy. And people laugh at me because I let her touch I don't care. She can touch whatever hot toy she wants. But when she sees it and she has like a look on her face of awe, even though she's 2.5 years old, I know that she's looking at something that's like, it's more than a toy. Like I see that in her eyes, and I saw it too. And that's so cool. And that connection's so awesome. And one day this will all be hers. If she wants it, she can have it. It's all hers. But she's enjoying it too. And that's really cool. And like my coworker saw that facial expression I had when I saw that figure, and because I did, he saw it when I opened it, he wanted to be there. He FaceTimed me, watched me open it, and was like, holy crap. That's how it was with my daughter. My daughter saw her, my first hot toy and held it in her arms. That was, I got it, I get it. And, it's so cool. I love them. But that's, it's hard to get someone sold on until they have it in their hands. But once you have it in their hands, there's an appreciation. Like my wife, she appreciates them. This is my hobby, but she sees it, and I see her coming in the room sometimes looking at them like, whoa, all right, I like this is cool. There's an appreciation there for it, but you got to see it in hand. Talking about it and not seeing it in hand is totally two different things.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, you followed that up really well, man. You see, you don't give yourself enough credit. That was some wisdom that you dropped there. You and Leo both. And I want to see if Carlos can follow that up, because Carlos.
Fuck no.
Mr. Hot Toys collector here that's sworn off Hot Toys. Dude, why are Hot Toys worth collecting, man? Where are you at on this?
I have a question. So which DeLorean are you getting, Ryan? The Hot Toy one?
The Hot Toys? Yeah.
The Hot.
I have one up there. I have a 1/8 scale right there.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute. So no, I mean like the NR, they're doing
Hot Toys one, so
the NR is doing the Mark 1. That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
they're gonna do one in die cast and real leather and the whole thing. That's what I didn't know which one you were.
I'm already got the Hot Toys on payment plan, so we're good.
Gotcha.
With that.
Yeah, the NR is gonna be way more expensive, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Man, but it's a pillar, so you can't put a price.
That's true. The pillar is no price is too much.
Yeah. Guilt trip.
Yeah.
As far as why are Hot Toys worth collect, man, what Leal said, what Ryan said, it's all about nostalgia, just getting things that remind you of everything. What's funny is that my progression and my evolution as a collector has changed dramatically all the time. It's gone from I need pieces that are important to pieces that look cool, and now to pieces that I may like a lot of characters. I've realized I don't need, I love Iron Man, but I don't need every Iron Man. I've evolved in that. I need certain pieces, but I like to stick to just one per character, and only getting characters that are truly meaningful, ones that I'm willing to go that extra route to do custom things on so they can look even that much better and that much more realistic. So for me, that's why Hot Toys is worth collecting, is just getting those pieces that are true, truly special to you and mean it more than just like, oh, let me just get an Armorized Deadpool or something. You know what I mean? Something that brings in real, realism and that just looks great. So that's why I will say they're definitely worth it. But I'm there. It's funny because I remember the first Hot Toy I was looking at, I believe it was way back, it was like the Black Panther Civil War. And it was like 2 something. And I was like, fuck no, I'm never gonna spend 2 something on a figure.
Right, no.
I was like, what idiots are spending this on this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And then sure enough, I was like, buying a Hulkbuster eventually. You know what I mean? So yeah,
the 1-to-1.
Yeah, the 1-to-1, the 1-to-1. So yeah, man, that's why I would say it's so good. So
yeah, and I think what you guys really touched on too, the realism aspect. I think that's a huge part of why people buy Hot Toys, because it's as of now, at least in 1/6 scale, by far the most lifelike thing that you can get. Maybe in art can come in and create some controversy and some waves, right? But we don't know yet. But as far as now, why do people buy Hot Toys, dude? It's the most lifelike representation you can get in that scale that you can articulate and pose and engage with. A lot of these statue companies are doing great things, but if you love Star Wars, man, Hot Toys is it. Because, I mean, you're not getting anything from Sideshow on that level.
Yeah, because if you want a realism, you go with Hot Toys. And if your main priority was posing, then you wouldn't get a Hot Toy, right? Because it's not like they can pose the best.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You'd probably get like Mayfax or SH Figure Arts, stuff like that. But Hot Toys gives you a little bit of the best of both worlds, I feel like. Yeah. Right. They're obviously, their primary motive is to be realistic. That's obviously clear. They'll put fat suits in figures. They'll do whatever. Like,
like the the Beskar Mando, you couldn't even pose him. So if like posing is your number one thing, then I feel like Hot Toys is like realism first, posing is second. But maybe for Gore it was something different.
Yeah, for Gore it was backwards.
It was backwards.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, well, great thoughts on that one. I feel so bad. I meant to address these super chats sooner, so my apologies, guys. Superhero Displays, thanks so much, bro. As a Brit, I'm thankful for America having Thanksgiving so the world can have Black Friday. Nice, dude. Nice, man. Well, hey, we're happy to give you guys something, put some good out there in the world from America. So thanks so much, bro. I appreciate that. And Lumi herself said she was thankful. Thanks so much, Lumi, for the diversity we're beginning to see. Nice, yeah. And we're going to see a lot of, I hope, a lot of figures from Black Panther, too. So, there's going to be a lot of cool figures in there. Namor is who I want the most, personally. But there's a lot of great figures. Bro. It's not going to be seamless, but it's going to happen, I think.
Yeah, it's not going to be seamless, though. So you're not going to get it.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not, but we'll see. But I'm excited. I really love Namor, so I really want to see that. So, guys, I think we got time to, go through one more topic. So I label this one Be Proud, because I think this is something that, we should be proud of our collection. I think that's really the ultimate goal that we take from all this. We can look at it and feel a lot of satisfaction from it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to say and ask you guys, really. So tell me about what you love about your collection. So I actually want to start again with Carlos on this one. Carlos, what do you love about your collection right now, dude?
So I love that I went from 260 figures, 250 to 260, something like that, to now 25 to like 40 figures or something. So I love that I've been able to go from that and realize like I just don't need everything. I'm really proud that every figure now that I'm getting and focusing on is a figure that I'm truly want for a long time, years, and ones that I'll keep saying it over and over, but I'll customize and do things like my Tony, my Battle Damage Mark 85, getting a custom sculpt, getting it rooted, Endgame Thor, getting that rooted, like just definitely getting to that place of saying like, I don't need everything because not everything's important to me, and making sure that every piece that I do have, it might only be 25 to 50, but it's probably going to be, each figure could be worth, 1,000 to 15, just because as far as like how much customization I want to do to it, and that just making sure that everything looks super detailed to the way it should be, like actual die-cast pieces that Hot Toys won't produce. So I'm very proud that I'm getting towards that path of just having, a perfect figure, if you will. And that's really what I've been focusing more on, as opposed to just like, hey, let me just get $200 and buy. And there's nothing wrong with it if you like it. But for me, like, hey, like I'm going to spend $200 on a Whiplash or on a T'Chaka. It's like, I don't really care about those characters enough, but I'll rather spend that $400 and get my Star-Lord rooted, so it looks even better now. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm proud of being very selective and then making sure that every piece is getting that extra attention to details that even brings in even more realism to the figure or statue. So
you're proud of your ability to curate and really focus on what you love and having that in your collection.
Yeah, and like I said, and bringing those like I have the J&D Joker and getting that sculpt even more painted and even better sculpt, just more things that you can add to it that looks even better. So that's what I'm really proud of, those extra custom things I'm doing. So
absolutely, bro. So Leah, what about you, man? Like, what are you most proud of your collection right now?
I mean, again, man, I'm proud of what where I've gotten it to. You know what I mean? Where as far as I've gotten the things that I've wanted. And just being able to recreate, just the imagery, just to, being able to have a display that represents something artistically, that I've been able to kind of reenact or just create something different. You know what I mean? Having ideas, that's what I'm most proud of. I'm proud. I'm more proud than ever when it comes to just having ideas, being able to, take something and just create a work of art. I say this all the time, like, you know what I mean? It's, if for me, having a space, having a collection, that, not everybody's good at everything, but a lot of us are artists, and a lot of us are good at interpretation. Whether it's photography, whether it's, posing your figures in your displays and, really creating a really decent, sort of like mausoleum of figures. You don't know how many times like people have walked down here and they see it and they're like, yo, wow. Like I had a guy that came down here and he worked on my water heater about a year ago. He walked through and he was like, yo, some of the stuff that I see here is incredible. Things that, that have recaptures my childhood. And when you see that, it's just like, yo, I'm proud that I can give you that moment, that I can take you back to those moments. You know what I mean? When you see that. So it's just like, again, I think that's what I live for. Just, being able to have, for me, because it's like I said, it's priceless for me. I don't sell. People know I don't buy and sell. I don't do those things. With everything that I have in my collection is something that is really sacred for me and I take pride in. So that's what I can actually say. Just being able to have things that, when I see people's eyes, they come down here and they look at it, even like my daughter, even like, just, the kids, they come down and take a look at it. It's like, wow, that looks incredible. You know what I mean? Or coming down, just walking past somebody saying, wow, that looks like Carlos. I mean, that just made it really, it's amazing. Like that, there's something like that it can happen. But I mean, that's what I can say the most, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So yeah, your ability to, show something that you're proud of, that you created, that represents you in a way.
Yeah.
So
it represents me and it represents somebody else's, nostalgia. It represents something like, yo, somebody can walk down here and say, yo, I remember that scene in Star Wars or Return of the Jedi when Luke was talking to Vader and stuff like that. I'm with you, man. I'm glad I can give you that.
Absolutely, bro. Well, Mr. Mom, bring us home on this one, bro. What are you most proud of? What do you love about your collection right now?
Kind of touching base on what Carlos said. I mean, to be honest, I don't want to oversimplify by saying being able to curate, my collection, but it's a perfect representation of me as a person. I know you guys really know me. We just kind of met, here, but if you guys knew me enough, the goal would be is if you walked into this room right now, you could stand back and look at it and be like, that's Ryan's collection. That's it. There's nothing in there that shouldn't be there. Everything there should be there. And that's I wasn't like that when I started collecting. When I started collecting, I was buying up things left and right. I was buying this up, buying that. And the other thing I'm proud of is that I had the wherewithal and the willingness to sell stuff off and know, listen, that doesn't fit in this collection one way or another. Like just a couple examples, Iron Man Mark III quarter scale. Iron Man Mark III is my favorite Iron Man suit. I had that figure for a couple months. I sold it because at the end of the day, is a hard realization. It didn't fit in my collection. Moving the detolfs around, space, and and also what I'm proud about is having the wherewithal as a collector to kind of know that you have to adapt to certain times. And I think now with Hot Toys, I think they're testing our wallets and they're testing our space. What's going on with the DeLorean coming in and certain figures like that. And so I really curated this really really honed it in and kind of looked at each figure and figured out what makes sense to be here. And the other thing I was proud of about my collection is just showing it off, social media. Because I got people that are asking, I had my father-in-law ask me the other day, like, man, I collect, because he watched one of the streams and just saw everything behind me. He's like, yeah, it's, you should look at getting that insured, because that's a lot of stuff you have back there, just asking those kind of questions that just would never been asked before. And like, we're having people over for Thanksgiving for the first time, and they're like, hey, we want to come upstairs and see what's going on in your room, and you want to check stuff out because we've seen you on the live streams. We want to like actually see the collection. So that's really cool to kind of be able to garner that kind of interest from other people, like, especially family members. I have support, but no one really kind of cares what's going on as long as you're doing your thing you enjoy. But I'm really proud that I was able to really curate a collection that represents me to the fullest, that has all the characters that I absolutely love. I'm at the point where I would never sell a single figure behind me. There is a purpose for every single figure, that I have. Everyone before, I didn't have that. Like Vizcardo Mando, I got rid of that. I sold it because I like the OG Mando. Till I still think it's the best Mando so far, and I won't get a new one until the articulation gets better. Then I'll think about picking up a new one. But everything has a purpose, and I'm so happy that I was able to peel that onion away and realize certain things had to go and certain things stayed, and now I've got it to a point where this is the overall best representation of where my collection is. And the same thing with my pre-orders. I have stuff on pre-order, but that stuff on pre-order is just going to flow right in. It's just going to continue to flow. There's not going to be anything that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like, why is that? Like Grievous, he's paired up with Dooku. They just go together. Right. There's everything has a rhyme. Otherwise, I would never have gotten that Grievous. I never would have got it. But it looks so good together. So everything visually just flows well. And I was able to curate everything and present everything so well that I couldn't be more proud of where I am now, opposed to 2 years ago, where everything was kind of a hot mess. So, but yeah, that's probably what I'm most proud of.
That makes sense. And I think you guys are really hitting the nail on the head here. What I would say, I agree with you guys 100%. Finding a collection space and room that you build that is very much you. Like you said, Ryan, you look at it and you're like, that's Ryan's collection. You look at it, that's Will's collection, or Leo or Carlos. It perfectly represents what people know about you and what you love. Like, that's pretty much, I think, the ultimate goal. And also something that you can walk into every day and be proud of and always be happy. Like, you don't look at certain figures and be like, man, I don't really feel great about that. You look at everything you have, you could be like, man, I curated this to the point where I'm like really happy with everything that I'm seeing. Like, I don't feel disappointment at all when I walk in here. I feel excitement and joy and escapism. I think those are the things that we always shoot for. So to me, man, I'm with you guys 100%. Great job, guys. We are going to wrap it there. So thank you so much for joining and your amazing insights. I want to go around the panel real quick and give everyone an opportunity to kind of talk about what's coming up on their channel. So Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectibles, bro, thanks so much for joining for the first time. For the people who don't know you, maybe, give a little bit of background and let them know what's coming up on your channel, man.
I really appreciate, like I said, big thanks to you, Will, and everyone on the panel for even just allowing me to be here. I didn't think about being a content creator about 2 months ago and I watched all your streams, all you guys, and watched everything in the shadows. And now I'm just kind of speaking my mind. So I really appreciate it and the openness to being, to be here, have a little bit of a platform. I got a couple, unboxing videos coming up next week, but a couple of the major things that I'm doing is I got a video that I'm working on that I'm switching away from my DTOF cabinets. I'm building my own like Maju case or Maju space kind of. So I'm just doing a video on that in terms of my reasoning, and nothing against DTOFs, but I'm doing a little bit of a video in terms of my reasoning of why I'm switching away. And it goes back to what we talked about my collection, the DeLorean, things like that. I have to adapt to the times. And sometimes I think it's too late. So I'm trying to be ahead of the game and adapt, with the pre-orders and adjusting my collection, curating it again. And that's it's just more like a tip for other collectors out there. That's kind of the point of what I'm trying to do, is some content that I wish I would have known a couple of years ago when I got into the hobby about certain things. And there's always going to be videos of my daughter. My daughter's kind of a main focal point on the channel. So I got some shorts with her where she comes up and, does her little 30-second reviews of my figures and stuff. She just did one of the Marty McFly Back to the Future. So I got some of that going on. So that's what I got going on. And I always do photography on my Instagram. So I got the Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper I'll be doing. I'll probably be shooting him out in the woods probably this week. And I'll be putting some stuff on Instagram about that. So,
well, thanks for joining, man. Like I said, it'll be a blast for everyone to check out your content. So, guys, check out Mr. Mom Collectibles YouTube and Instagram. Lots of good photography, unboxings, other cool content out there. So, yeah, man, thanks for joining, bro. And Lael, Mr. 16 Scale, man, what's coming up, bro? Thanks for joining as always, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. Tomorrow, of course, is Comic Book Talk with Friends. We'll just be, just going over, we're moving away from just movie talk, and just going into like the history of certain comics, certain titles, historically that have been the most memorable titles, and just kind of revisiting those. So just and also just giving a shout out to different artists. Basically each week we highlight an artist, when it comes to comics that have been, just pretty much the pillar of everyone's collection, and most admirable, and pretty much started it all. So yes, we do that. Say What Wednesday, of course. There won't be a Uncivilized on Thursday, of course, because it is Thanksgiving. And yeah, possibly we'll be back on Friday, yes, for Figure Flex Friday. And then Collectors Lounge, got a couple videos that I'm going to be dropping here soon, finally. But like I said, time is of the essence, and thing is full-fledged on the holiday season for the kids. Thanksgiving initiative, of course, Toys for Tots type of situation. So yeah, just that's what's going on, man, right now. So yeah, thanks very much.
Sounds awesome, man. A lot of cool, me, bro. Yeah, man, thanks for joining as always, bro. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff you're doing over there, Leo. The Toys for Tots thing, like I said, all that is great, and all the content. Yeah, man, absolutely. So
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. So Carlos, a place for collecting, bro. You want to talk about the group? What's going on there?
Yep. So in our group, a Facebook group, a place for collecting. Anyone is welcome to join. Anyone who's listening. Tomorrow we're gonna have a raffle. So it's not too late. You can just join the group and be there tomorrow. I believe it's at 6 or 6:30 Pacific. And we're gonna be giving away a ton of things. So number one is an OG Mando to anyone who's been active over the last 30 days. Our $25 sideshow gift card to our top 10 active members. So one of them is going to win. And then we're going to have a game show of 20 questions. And that is anyone can join that specific contest. Again, it's only going to stream on the Facebook group. So you have to be there if you want to win. If you're in Australia, I believe Rich, he's going to be exempt because, it's going to be like 2:30 in the morning for him. So if you're not there, just let us know, that you're not local. But aside from that, yes, it's going to happen on the Facebook group. And that game show is going to be $75 sideshow gift card for the first place, $50 for the second, $25 for the third. Anyone is welcome. You don't have to be active in the group. You just have to be in the group at that point, active or inactive, and then you can just participate in that game show that we're going to be doing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Cool. Thank you, Will, for having me, man. It's always fun.
Yeah.
To be here and watch football through Leal's camera. So
exactly.
Right. I know, right?
Exactly.
Chiefs are not doing too hot for me right now. So they got to get it together, bro.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks so much for joining as always, Carlos. Guys, thanks so much to this Avengers level panel, as always, for doing great work. And on my channel, you'll see this show, Collectors Mingle, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Lights, Camera, Collect every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm always on Leal's Say What show, 9:15 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. So I'll be back on that. I did an interview actually today with Brian Wong, the CEO and founder of ModuSpace, formerly ModuCase. So check that out if you guys have not already. That was really fun. I did a Prime One live reaction to their showcase for part one of that. So that's on my channel from last night as well, if you want to watch that. And there'll be other content coming at you guys soon. I'm going to be doing some Last of Us content. I'm going to be doing some other stuff that's going to be exciting, more collection reactions. So those are always fun. And yeah, thanks so much to everyone for the support and the engagement as always. Like I said, we always appreciate you guys showing up and, contributing in the chat and giving a lot of good thoughts and engaging with us. That's why, that's why it's fun for us. So that's why we do the streaming thing. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. See you later. Bye.